Hello one and all, this is Hybrid still of the Gaming Dads community. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. Today we're going to be talking about this one. This is Path of Exile, which is now free to play on your PlayStation dashboards. Now we know it's been out on Xbox since 2017 and we know it's been out on Steam since 2013. So it's taken 6 years to come to PlayStation. So now we get to review it. So without further ado, let's get it on, shall we? Okay, so the first thing off, you get a choice of 6 different characters. You get the Marauder, you get the Thief, you get the Warrior, and then on the other side you get the Huntress, you get the Duelist, and you get the Witch. Each comes with their own abilities and their own way of attacking things. So, if you don't really know what you're doing just yet, choose a character, be happy, and then if that one doesn't work out for you, choose another one and be happy. You do have a choice of 6, so you do have that sort of like, you know, you got time to mess around, let's put it that way. Now, when you've initially made your choice, you get to rename your character, and then you get sent to, well, exile. You get sent to an island full of things that want to kill you. If you're very familiar with the way that Diablo works, and you've played Diablo 1, 2 and 3 and other games like it, you'll know exactly the system you're just about to delve into, and you could probably just get on with the game and be happy. But for all those people who are not familiar with it, this is how it works. You start off in a really crappy situation. You go into a dungeon, you pick up some stuff, and then you go back to town. They give you some quests. Then you go back into the dungeon and you go and kill stuff, and you get more better stuff, and you come back and they give you more questions, so on and so forth. That's how these games really work. The best part is this one's free, so you don't have to pay for any of it. What you're in for is basically a top-down dungeon crawling loot hashed RPG game. You don't get to customize your character as in the look, which is a bit of a shame, but you don't really get to do that a lot in a lot of these style games anyway, because the character's not the main focus. The main focus is literally you getting through each dungeon and surviving by the end of the game. There's a lot of loot, and when I say a lot of loot, if you're very familiar with these games, every enemy is a potential treasure chest, every boss is literally a grand treasure chest, and you never know what you're going to find. Now, the weirder part about this is the skill tree, which is this. This is the skill tree for this game. Now, you're not going to get enough nodes to finish this tree. Trust me. I think there's 156 levels you can go up, and you won't find enough to do this. So the first thing you should focus on when you're building your character is what you want to do with your character. If you're going to make a two-handed weapon specialist, like an axe wielder or a two-handed sword wielder, you want to focus on those abilities. You don't want to separate off. You want to get as much into that ability as possible. So you want your special moves to be two-handed sword weapons, or you want your special moves to be two-handed sword weapon abilities. You don't want to separate out. Keep your eye on where you're going with your skill tree, because there's so much in here you will get lost. The reason why I'm giving you this bit of advice is because it's not like all the other games where you've got a specific amount of tiny skills and they're the only things that are going to go up. You need to focus on whatever proficiency you're going to go for. Now, because this game has been out for a very long time and the mechanics haven't changed between platforms, go onto YouTube or go onto somewhere else, find a guide and find a build that suits you. It won't take you long. The downside is actually getting to that level to be able to put a skill tree like that together. So keep it in mind that you will have to be very proficient and very sort of selective of what you're actually going to focus on. That's my one big piece of advice. Now, the other piece of advice is the inventory screen, which is this bit here. This is the grid system that Diablo uses, and you basically cannot just pick up everything off the floor and be happy. Now, later on, when you can unlock the town portal thing and you can go backwards and forwards as much as you want, then you can do this. But for now, you're very limited of how much you can actually pick up. So when you're picking up loads and loads of loot, make sure you're picking up the stuff that's worth the most and you've equipped it the best. Reason why is because you want to make enough money to buy better stuff or get better stuff. Now, there are 2 different ways of buying stuff within this game. You can either buy stuff from the in-game traders, the NPCs, who are there to give you dialogue, and they're there for you to shop. And they're going to charge money for their wares. or you can trade with people online. Now they've got a trading system within this game which acts as a notice board within the town. People put their stuff up for free and then you can buy it off them instead. So always keep an eye out for unique goods that are going to be coming up for search, because some people are going to probably go off and do quests and then they're going to ditch their stuff that they had before and they're going to be trying to sell it off. So obviously you're going to have to pay a premium, but this stuff you won't be able to buy from a shop. It will be stuff out of the dungeon. Now the land is randomly generated, so it's exactly like the same as, well, it's exactly the same as Diablo. It's not the same as Diablo. It's the same as the other games that use randomly generated dungeons to get through a level. Each one is randomly generated for you, but when you come to playing multiplayer, that dungeon is going to be the same for the other person as well. There's going to be no deviation. There are two types of map. You can use the little town map in the top right hand corner, or you can use ghost mode. And the reason why I call it ghost mode is you can see through the map where your character is running around, which I use quite a lot, because if I haven't found a specific part of the map, I run around quite a lot, so that's why I use ghost map a lot. I do tend to just kill everything first, then go exploring, and I spend ages doing this. If you're anything like me, you probably suffer from magpie syndrome, so that means you're going to go off and find shiny things and not really care about your objective until 3 hours later. Don't do that, because you have to focus on what you're doing to start with, because there's a lot for you to do and a lot to take in. There is a lot of lore in this game as well, so there is a lot of things to learn. There are a lot of people talking. Apart from that, this game is fantastic. You know, there is a lot to do, there is a lot to see, and for a free game that you can play with your friends and family as much as you want, there's nothing really more you can complain about. I mean, people may have a go at the game because it's not their style of game, but that's their choice. That's their sort of their reasoning for, I like driving games, so I'm not going to play this. But at the end of the day, that's up to them, isn't it? So thank you very much for joining me. This has been Hybrid Still of the Gaming Dads community. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe and notifications button below for all other updates we'll be putting onto this channel. And if you hit the first link in the description box below, that is to my channel, where you can find me doing reviews like this, and I do live streams where I accept anybody into my community. Come along and have a chat whilst I'm dying profusely on games. It's all good. The second link in the description box below is for the Gaming Dads website. Now if you go over there are loads of reviews, different games, different platforms, different everything. Also, you can pick up really cool merchandise like this. So come along, join the fold, and don't forget, you are legends in game, heroes at home. This has been Hybrid Still. Peace out, have fun, and enjoy everything you guys do. Bye bye.